Hello there, Libra. Good morning. It has been a while. We are here today for your reading for now through the end of October. There will be some timestamps to the different parts. We are going to be covering general. That's the first one we're going to do here. Then we're going to follow that up with some love messages, some career messages, and then we will do a thing where I would like for you to think of a specific question, and we are going to see if the tarot has an answer for you or the oracle has an answer for you. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the general, like I said. For the general for you today, we are going to be using the Witch's Tarot. I really love this deck. It's really speaking to me today for you in particular. I haven't used this deck actually in a while, but really feeling it. I already meditated a little bit off camera before we started, and also, just in case you're curious, it's backwards. This is the incense that I'm burning at the moment. Okay, what are the general messages and advice we have for Libra for now? Ooh, I guess we'll keep that for now through the end of October. What are the general messages? Or not love. What is the general messages you have for Libra for now? At the end of October. What are things going on in their life? What are things they need to know? What advice you have? Whatever feels necessary to speak about. Okay. I think we need to do a fifth one. And I'm feeling like 2 out of the bottom here. Okay. And I'm sure we're going to be clarifying a lot of these, so also just in case you see this, I have some strawberry lemonade, especially with how many readings I plan on doing today and how long I plan on being here. I will be taking drinks occasionally. Anyways, we have, to start you out with, the King of Cups. This is the one that popped out. The King of Cups, I definitely feel like you have this energy of needing to really ground yourself, is the phrase kind of that comes to mind here, but really it's being emotionally stable and being thoughtful about how you're coming off to other people, right? So don't, get mad about something, fly off the handle, or just make sure that you are being compassionate to other people, and it'll be for various reasons, but I feel like people will be watching you in an interesting way. And we are, the day I'm filming this, we're currently in Mercury retrograde. That will be ending in a couple days. Most of what this reading's for won't be in retrograde, but we do have a lot of planets in retrograde right now. So that could, what is the King of Cups here for Libra? The Chariot. Okay, yeah, don't be too quick about things. Don't make hasty, fast decisions. Have that control and the willpower that is needed to make accurate and smart decisions and to come off as someone who really knows what they're doing to other people. Because I feel like, honestly, I just feel like a lot of you are going to be misunderstood some during this time if you don't act carefully. The next card that we have is the Moon card. A lot of secrets, a lot of things not being fully discussed, or things maybe whether you're not fully discussing everything with a group of people, a person, whatever the situation is for you, because this is general, or whether someone isn't you. Even if it's things you're already aware of, some of them, I do feel like that there is some things that are unknown still here. I also feel like there could be some anxiety about the unknown. Like maybe for some of you, it could be even maybe that there's not that much that's hidden. Maybe you just have anxiety about things being hidden, and whether they are or aren't. We have the Strength card. I know that this can be difficult, but I think that it's very important to note during this time because, Libra, the scales, they like things to be fair and stuff, typically. I think that it's important to remember that, the unknown or the future, whatever it is that is giving you anxiety, you need to really, have the strength to kind of move forward in a way to not let it damage you, because I feel like you're letting things consume you that shouldn't be. And I know that's easier said than done, but interesting. We have the Two of Cups as the next card. There's a couple possibilities here. This is general. So for those Libras watching that this could have to do with a romantic or love connection, I do think that you have like a really nice mutual attraction with someone and a really nice unified love with someone during this time. It could be strengthening a relationship if you already have one. It could be meeting someone new with a really nice connection. For those of you who it's not that, it could be career or education. It could be a various number of things, but it's in that case it would be about having a connection and finding something that you really enjoy. Finding like a hobby or an interest or a way of doing something that really fulfills you. Let's see. What is the Two of Cups here for Libra? Can you give us more information on this card? The World. It almost feels to me like whichever of those is the scenario, it almost feels like a completion or like a new beginning almost, possibly. A new beginning as in like a brand new person, or it could be a new beginning as in this is the time to really start fresh, whether that's like a refresh with someone or something already in your life, and really finding a way to strengthen that and really examining a way to strengthen it and make it better. Or it could be, like I said, a new hobby, object, idea, way of doing something, a new person. But either way, it is important to kind of let one cycle come to an end, another come to an open, kind of like start something new or do something new, which looks pretty good. This is the general part of the reading, so we don't really have anything bad here. I do see one thing in the overall, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The next card here we have is the Nine of Wands. I feel like you're going to be putting in a lot of hard work into something. And I feel like you have a lot of resilience at this time. I feel like you really put up with a lot, and that you have put in a lot of effort into something. At least in terms of you. And I feel like you I feel like some of you may need to set up some boundaries, though. Let's see. What is the Nine of Wands here for? The Seven of Cups. I feel like a lot of you, this could be like a career or a different thing. I don't really get a love energy from this. We do have the Seven of Cups. I think I showed that, right? On top of that. And that's talking about opportunities and some choices being made. It could also be about wishful thinking and like, because the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of these clouds in this background of this is really sticking out to me today more than normal. It really feels like there may be an illusion of choices or an illusion of opportunity, really, for a lot of you. Actually, I do want to get another clarification card for this because I'm very curious. What is the Seven of Cups here for Libra? We have the Seven of Wands, yeah. So the Seven of Wands is a challenge, competition, like other people competing for something possibly. I also feel for a lot of you, it feels like people like are attacking you or doubting you, or you just people don't think that you are capable of whatever the opportunity or choices is that you think that might be there. Like I said, this is a collective Libra reading. So for most of you, I'm not getting a love energy off this really at all. But I mean, that is possible with this being a collective reading. It's just not for most people watching. Okay, the next card here is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is about, it could be about movement or change, but it also could be about some kind of communication or letter or something being said, or some kind of action as well. Let's clarify this and see. Oh, some information. We have the High Priest, number 5. Let me look. Number 5 is the Hierophant normally. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. But anyways, yes, the priest, or the High Priest. I mean, I think that a lot of you, and Virgo had this a lot in their reading too, which they're close together in the charts, so that maybe makes sense a little bit. But it does seem like there's going to be a lot of changes, and like, it feels like there's been like a routine and things may have been stagnant for you, and that could be in a lot of areas of life, and it feels like there's going to be a break of the routine, whether that's career or love, or for a lot of you, I feel like it's multiple areas of your life, the routine's breaking down. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think that it's important to embrace that, and really, that's something where you can focus on like, okay, what are some things that we can do to make the most out of this in a positive way, right? Instead of like just being like, okay, everything's different, I don't know what to do, fuck my life. Instead be like, okay, everything's different, what about this is good, and what can I do to use this to my advantage? Okay, so the overall cards, I'm going to show both of the overall cards, and then if I feel the energy to clarify either of these or both of them, then I will. The first overall card is the Queen of Cups. And then we also have the Four of Cups. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So we have the Queen of Cups, and that is about... I'm wondering if this is you or if it's someone for you. The Queen of Cups is energy of someone being really emotionally stable, which is similar to the King of Cups that we talked about earlier, but this is more about like being there for someone being there for you, feeling very cared about, whether you're giving that energy to someone else or they're giving it to you. I actually do want to clarify that one. Can we clarify the Queen of Cups here? What is the Queen of Cups here for? We have the Knight of Pentacles. I would say be careful not to get swept off your feet. It feels like because there's two hands here, because this is a collective reading, so there are going to be one group of people here who I feel like this is an energy of someone, caring, or you're caring, whatever the case is, whoever's doing this caring is like a fake energy, and it's kind of like too good to be true kind of thing. That is one group of people, and it's not going to be for everyone. The other group, most of the rest of the people, it will be this energy here of someone being very ambitious, has a lot of goals, and I feel like it almost feels like you need like some kind of like boost right now. Like maybe that there's something that you've been considering, or there's things that you want to do, and you really need someone to give you that push of like, yes, I think that you should do that. Then we also have the I just got this weird message. I feel like some of you might experience some kind of, and this will be towards the end of the period, I feel like, for most of you, if this happens for you. Some of you might experience someone telling you with that, if you have like these really ambitious goals and ideas, I really feel like someone's going to be like, no, you can't do that. And I would just say don't let that stop you, because like, for example, if you was to become a musician or make YouTube videos or whatever the case is in the public light, for example, you're going to get hate comments. Like, that's just going to exist. Like, don't let comments like that, especially if it's someone you don't know like that, but even if it is people you know in real life and something more like IRL like that, definitely don't let it get to you and your goals. I'm not saying to like quit your job and like do this or that or whatever, but I'm just saying like, if you have goals and they are obtainable, actually, I don't think you would feel like they're obtainable, actually, so scratch that. Anyways, the next overall card here we have is the Four of Cups. And this is one I actually have questions about also, because the Four of Cups is this energy of like feeling disappointed maybe, but I don't really feel like that's the case for most people maybe. I feel like it's honestly like kind of being bored with things, and honestly for some of you I feel like this might be the energy that you was in, and that may be why routines might be changing for some of you. It's kind of like, okay, things are a little bit routine here, let's switch things up, let's spice things up, whatever that is in life. We have the Queen of Pentacles clarifying it, which is someone who's very practical, and I feel like maybe you was afraid to switch things up because you was afraid, you was trying to be really practical about it and very like worried that things would break down, whether that's a change in your career and worried that that would break things down, but maybe it's needed, or a change in a relationship, or a change in some kind of money spending habit. I feel like that there is some kind of thing where that was like a concern. Let's see if we can get another message for this. Yeah, the Six of Swords, some kind of movement, change, transition. For some of you, it could be like a vacation. Maybe you need to like take a few days and get away, depending on your financial situation, if you can do that or not. I know I could not do that right now, but yeah, if you have the financial situation to be able to do something like that, I think that it would be really great. Okay, before we move on to the love, because I know some people are just going to watch the general, I did forget to say this at the beginning, a couple of things. First of all, I do stream on Twitch. I will be doing tarot readings on there, so I would greatly appreciate it if you would follow me on there. I do play games and stuff also. Also, I want to say, I forgot, I wanted to mention about the planets. For those of you who are watching the general reading and don't watch the rest, thank you for being here. But also, Uranus, Jupiter, Eris, Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto are all in retrograde, and I think will be most, if not all of the time of this reading. Mercury is currently in retrograde at the time of filming this and uploading this, but it won't be most of the time. It actually ends retrograde in like 2 or 3 days from now. So, I guess let's go ahead and move on to the love reading. I think for the other first 3 signs we did all oracle for the love. But I'm thinking for you, we're going to do a couple tarot, and then instead of clarifying any of these, unless I feel it's absolutely essential to clarify something, I think that we'll put some oracle cards on top of that, because I was doing 2 oracle decks for all the other cards, or the other signs. Okay. Oh, wow. We have the Major Arcana 19 Paradise. This is the final Rose Tarot, so the Major Arcana is all completely different from the others. So that's normally the Sun in a tarot deck. But honestly, I mean, this is kind of similar to the Sun, I guess, but this is a different energy. This is things going in a positive direction, even if it doesn't in the physical. You can't control other things. I know this is really hard for you sometimes, but focus on yourself. You need to make yourself happy. It's time for you to do that. You need a break to just be happy for the moment and try to clear things up mentally. And, we talked about some of the things in the general reading that might do that. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what love messages we have for Libra. What love messages do we have for Libra for now to the end of October? What messages does Libra need to know for love for now to the end of October? I actually feel like there's a third card for the bottom. Okay. So we actually have 3 overall messages, and then we have the 4 main cards. And like I said, I'm not going to be clarifying any of these. We are going to use oracle cards instead on top of this at the end and get some more information about just these messages overall. So we started here with the hometowns card. 10 of roses, which I think is similar to the 10 of rings. A 10 of rings. What did I say? This is similar to the 10 of pentacles. I feel like it's something about like finding your root of something from your younger days. There's like some kind of thought or idea, or there's something about like, it could be somebody who feels really at home with someone, and really connected in a lovely way. I think that it's important to know that whatever actions you take, don't be afraid to take an action because of the result, is all I'm getting. I don't know what that means exactly for you personally, but whatever you feel like that means, that's a message that I was getting there to say. So we also have this number 13 at the end, the death card. Honestly, for some of you, I feel like this is the end of like some kind of depression or sadness or something like that, because we really, I don't feel like crazy things here, but this is like similar to the death card. So it is the kind of energy of an ending, a beginning. It could be like letting go of a way that things have been. It could be moving on from like a thing that you've been doing. So like, for example, if you're single and looking for someone, maybe you've been going about finding someone in a way that is like not working. Like really think about something like that. Or if you're in a relationship, maybe you're doing something that's just not working. Like think about like, okay, is there something that we can do different here that would make things better? Or maybe you're in a crush phase. Like there's a lot of different possibilities here, but I do think that it's important to think about that. And also like if something is coming to an end, like some of you could be, breaking up with someone, getting a divorce, whatever the case is, because we aren't clarifying this. We will get some love messages that'll give us more information. But if that's the case for you and you're watching, I think that it's important to not hold on to it excessively. I mean, of course, you're going to have a grieving period. That's completely fine and normal. Don't beat yourself up for that. But I would just say don't hold on to it if that's the case for you. Okay. Anyways, several possibilities there. This is collective. I feel like the most common one, though, for most of you will be you need to end some bad habits or end something that hasn't been working, whatever that may be, and have a new way of doing things. The next card that we have is the 8 of Rings, the camera guy. This is working on something, putting an effort. Also, I get the feeling that someone's watching. That could mean a lot of different things. But I think it's important to observe. This is kind of like the card of observation and effort and work also. Like something may take effort and work and persistence and, that. And I also feel like something needs like some more like studying or more, it's almost like mastering a skill kind of thing of like you need to like figure out the best way for something to work. There's something here you need to figure out the best way for it to work. And really talk about the details. And for those of you single too, it could be that someone is really has their eye on you, and that could be in a creepy way, I guess. But for a lot of you, it just could be that they think you're cute. But with that being said, the next card that we have is a little bit sad. We do have some kind of rejection that's possible. We have the 10 of Mirrors. There's a couple possibilities here. This is similar to the 10 of Swords. So some of you absolutely could be being rejected in some kind of way, which is really sad, and I am sorry if that's the case. But I don't feel like that's the case for all of you. I feel like something else that you can remember with the Ten of Swords here is a lot of times, the Ten of Swords is, I wonder if I can find it in this deck quickly. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords below the Ten of Swords. Nine of Swords is depression, and this isn't in your reading, by the way, I'm just explaining something here. The Nine of Swords is depression, anxiety, being hung up on something, like sleepless nights. Like, to me, it's one of the saddest cards in the deck, honestly. And then, that's followed up by the Ten of Swords. And this Ten of Swords can be, kind of one step above that, and like depression and like anxiety and stuff. Obviously, this particular deck has a more positive picture along with it, because one of my favorite things to think about with the Ten of Swords, I feel like this is kind of like nearing the end of that, if you are still in that at all, and it's kind of like letting things go. So like, for example, a lot of you could be letting go of, and we've discussed that actually a lot with this love reading here, something being let go, and some of you could be hung up like on an ex or something as well, and that could be a thing that you might need to let go. But in a lot of versions of the Ten of Swords, it has like almost like the swords are falling out of their back. Like there's 10 swords in their back. That hurts, but they're falling out, and the wounds are healing. That kind of needs to happen here. Obviously, there's not wounds that need to heal necessarily, but there are something that needs moved on from possibly. Overall cards here we have, I'm going to say what the 3 overall cards are, and then we will discuss what the 3 overall cards mean. The first overall card here we have is the Rose Ceremony, card number 20, which that was actually in your general reading as well. The next card we have is the Two of Roses, the date card. And we have the Five of Rings, Insecure. Okay. So, the Rose Ceremony and the date card I feel like actually goes together for you. These are very connected cards, actually. And yeah, this is here too. Actually, this is connected to them too, I guess. But I really want to focus on these two for a second. Because the Rose Ceremony is similar to the World in a normal reading, which we had that in your general reading. So that is that moment of something coming to a close, a new cycle coming to a beginning, trying something new, doing something different, some kind of freshness occurring, some kind of refresh, some kind of new beginning, some kind of new person maybe, whatever the case is. Something needs planned here. Something maybe I feels like keeps getting skipped over, something maybe, you want to happen here. Whatever the case is, I feel like it keeps getting put off though, and there needs to be a date set for it. This is the date card. This is like, you need to set a date for this. You need to and the Two of Roses is similar to the Two of Wands, and that's future planning also. But like, you really need to like plan this and progress and make progress here, because this is something that's actually very needed. Whatever the case is for you, like I said, it depends on whether you're single in a relationship. There's a lot of possibilities, but that's something that's needed right now. And also with those as an overall card, it's funny that I had to pull 3 because this actually makes a lot of sense with those. The Five of Rings, Insecure. It's, feeling insecure about maybe not wanting to bring up planning this first, maybe not like feeling insecure about it in some kind of way. But honestly, I feel like if you have some kind of insecurity or hang up or worry or concern or whatever, talk about it. Just figure out what compromise can be reached that would make everyone happy and ease any insecurities you have, and maybe they have insecurities with something too. For those of you who's single though, I feel like that's more for like if you have a crush on someone and like have a really good connection with them, or if you're in a relationship with someone already. But for those of you who are single though, maybe there's something you need to do to find someone and you keep putting it off, or maybe you keep putting off going out to meet someone, or whatever the case is, or just getting out of your house in general. It doesn't even have to be to meet someone. Just go to the park. You could meet someone at the park, but maybe you keep putting off like doing things like that. Just like set dates and like do it. Get out of your comfort zone. You have insecurities here, yeah, and maybe you are too afraid to, like, let's say you go to the park, like a lot of people, myself included, isn't going to go up to someone and start a conversation if you think that they're cute or something. And I feel like it's saying to really just forget about that, and just really um, the only way things are going to change for you is if you do some kind of action to do it, you know what I mean? Which I know is easier said than done. And let's go ahead and get a couple oracle cards here to see like any outcomes or anything like that. Let's see what's going to happen in love here for Libra for now through the end of October. What love messages do you have for Libra? What does Libra need to know in love for now to the end of October? Oh, okay. As we near the end of this love reading for you as well, I would strongly encourage, if it's posted yet, to look at your moon and rising signs. I would listen to your intuition though. Like for me personally, my sun's Virgo, and my moon's Leo, and my rising's Aries. And sometimes I'll watch my Venus and stuff if I want like a love reading, because Venus is, anyways. But with that being said, I don't watch Aries and Leo every month. Some months I don't feel the need or the pull to watch either one. Sometimes my intuition feels like, I really feel like I should watch my moon or sign this month, or I really feel like I should watch my rising sign this month. So that's a thing as well. Like, just keep that in mind, and it's something that I would encourage people to consider doing. Not even if it's not here, maybe it's on a different channel. That's fine. But like, it's something that's very interesting. And if you don't know what your sign is, I wish I could like put it on the screen or something, but I can't. Alabe.com is what I personally use. There's other websites you can get free birth charts. This isn't sponsored by them at all, but alabe.com is the website that I use personally. It's really easy to do, and it's really easy to read, and it tells you exactly what each individual placement means. I actually have never even used another website. I'm sure they exist, but yeah. Anyways, timing is very important though, by the way. It says the time is not needed, but rising sign in particular, if you don't know the exact time you're born, don't read your rising sign because it's wrong. Rising sign is only for like if you know the exact time, because I think it changes every like hour or two or something like that. Anyways, love oracle messages for you, Libra. We have chemistry. There is a strong magnetic attraction here. Really great. Yeah, I didn't feel anything negative from your love reading. I mean, it could go negative, I guess, if you don't do the advice that was given. Possibly. It doesn't mean it will if you don't do it. But if you don't follow the advice, it's possible, I guess, that things could go negative. You always do control your own destiny. However, that's a really nice card. And we have next to it the wedding card. This situation involves marriage. I mean, a lot of you could be going to a wedding or something during this period. But also, some of you could be getting married. Something surrounding maybe a wedding that either someone in your life is having, a wedding that you're going to, something may happen at that wedding, something may be involved with that wedding happening in general that could affect your love life. Those are situations that are possible. And the overall message here under the deck, anyways, we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gestures. Yeah, if you're single, definitely, go ahead and make that romantic gesture. If you're already in a relationship, then there's some kind of step in action that needs taken here. But either way, whichever one of those, that's definitely something we discussed in the love tarot cards that we pulled. Okay, so that is your love reading today, Libra. This is going to be by far the longest sign I've done so far. I think it's because we did tarot for love instead of just oracle, because that definitely took a lot longer. Anyways, let's go ahead and do some career cards for you. We are going to do the Gilded Tarot here as well. This is actually this deck I've used for all the signs so far for career. It's just what I'm feeling right now. What career messages do you have for Libra for now through the end of October? What career messages do you have for Libra? Hold on, let's go ahead and clear the energy out of this deck. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what career messages do we have for Libra for now through the end of October. What messages do we have for their career? What should they do? What's to come? What advice do you have? Okay. It told me not to shuffle anymore, so we won't shuffle anymore. Um, okay. I was trying to decide if I needed to pull that card or not. I don't plan on clarifying all of these. If I have additional questions, I'll clarify it, of course, since I don't think we'll be doing Oracle for this. I don't really have a deck for Oracle for career. So let's go ahead and see here. We have the Star as your first career card, which the Star is a pretty vague message, kind of. I don't know. It kind of makes sense for you in this. Kind of reminds me in similar ways of the Virgo's career, but a little different. I feel like it's some kind of hope and faith and kind of believing in something here and kind of keeping that positivity alive. We also have the Hanged Man, so don't be like irrational or do something rash. Kind of be patient here, which is so hard. I hate that in a reading too. I hate patience and stuff coming up. Yeah, the Hanged Man. It could be about also letting something go. If something you feel like maybe you've been holding on to, like really think about it. If you've been holding on to something that has been affecting your career negatively, it's time to let that go. Or also, sometimes, I know the Libras I've known can sometimes, want things to be fair or just, or maybe even get revenge sometimes, if applicable. But sometimes it's important to let things go, and because sometimes you can just put too much energy into something and end up hurting yourself more in the end than it's worth. So we have the High Priestess here next. We are going to clarify this one, actually. This is one I want to clarify here. The High Priestess. What is the High Priestess doing here? So the High Priestess is about intuition and inner knowledge. And also, like, I've been thinking about it a lot. For a lot of signs here, actually, it keeps coming up as, like already acquired skills, or like already like previous, like a base of knowledge. Like really think about what you already offer and bring to the table and really use that to your advantage, and also like really hone like what is your strengths in your career, and make sure that you strengthen them even more, sharpen them even more, like things that don't completely drain you, that you do enjoy about your job. Like really focus on those. And it could be even if you're getting a new job or something, like whatever it is, like really think about what your strengths are and really hone in on those and sharpen those claws. We have the Knight of Cups clarifying that though, and that is about, that makes sense actually. What I just said could appear as really attractive to someone else. I mean, the Knight of Cups, typically, this card in general is about charming, beauty, kind of like alluring. So, I mean, obviously in a career reading, though, that's more of like it just pulling someone in and kind of making them more interested in you, whether that's for a new job or a new position. Not saying you're getting a new position, but it could even be just them appreciating you more, or giving you a raise, or like really valuing your opinion more, or something like that as well. Because I do feel like some of you may be struggling with that, with some of these that we have here. So for the Nine of Cups here, the Nine of Cups is a great card, especially in a career reading. I mean, I guess it could be better with like the the 10 of Pentacles or something, but the Nine of Cups is really great though. That's being, in the end, I think that you're going to be content, satisfied, and enjoy what the outcome is. I mean, the Nine of Cups typically is like getting all you want, or getting everything you wanted, being completely happy with it. Now, I'm hesitant to say that exactly like that with this, though, because, like, I don't, for a lot of you, feel like you're going to get exactly what you want, because I feel like what you have on your mind that you want right now, I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be different than what actually ends up happening. But I do think that in the end, you're going to be satisfied with what the outcome is here. What is the Nine of Cups here for? some kind of new financial opportunity. So that, I mean, some kind of abundance as well, possibly. So a lot of you could stumble into some kind of abundance of money in some kind. From whatever way that is. Maybe it's like a side project or a side adventure as well. Because I don't really feel like it's with the main career thing. For some of you, it could be. But I do think also that, you know, there could be a new financial opportunity. So maybe you attract a new job in, or maybe you start like some kind of side project and it really takes off, or maybe you start something yourself. I feel like some of you may be starting something yourself, or in some kind of way, something like that, to where like you have that energy behind you though. I'm not saying to quit your job and start something, but because I don't feel like a lot of you would necessarily do that. I feel like something here is going to be a nice financial opportunity. It could be a raise at your current job. It could be a promotion. It could be the energy of like you could start something new. It almost feels like some kind of connection though. Through a connection. Like maybe you meet someone that offers you something. Maybe you have a connection that somehow helps you get more money in some way. I'm not really sure what it means by this connection, the energy that I'm getting here. But I keep getting this like word connection coming up. And I'm not sure why I keep getting the word connection here. The overall card here we have is the Queen of Swords. We only have one overall card. That's all I felt like. I was going to pull the next one because I like to pull two. Especially when we don't do don't do that many cards like this, but I didn't feel like I needed or should have pulled more than, because I seen the next one. I don't even remember what the next one was now, but it really was calling to me to not pull it. So anyways, the Queen of Swords. I think that it's important to not let other people's opinions influence you, and I know that that's not something that is really. I don't think that's common among Libras. I'm not really sure, honestly. But I will say it's important to make sure that you're developing your own opinions and try to look at things unbiased. And really, really be clear and precise with your thoughts. To think independently. And really, I feel like it's also like a sense of understanding, like really understand like where the other person's coming from, like where someone else is coming from. Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's, you know, whatever, but really think about the other side and really have your own independent thoughts about it. Like put yourself in their situation, like really put yourself in their situation. Like how would you feel? Like, do they actually have control over whatever? Like, how much control do they have? Like, if you was in their situation, would you be able to do anything different? Like, actually, would you be able to do anything different? Like, would their boss let them do anything? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's just something to keep in mind. And also, like I said, I feel like this is a time of maybe where people might try to influence your opinions. But it's also important to have clear boundaries as well for yourself. Whatever that may mean, whatever clear boundaries you need to have, it's important to, and I'm not saying you need to change something to have clear boundaries, but just maybe if someone does something that's bad towards you, being like, okay, no, like these are my boundaries, like I'm not going to let you talk to me like that, possibly, or something. If that's possible, you know, don't get yourself fired or something, but yeah. Anywho. We are going to do some answers now. So I would appreciate it if you would think about a question that's on your mind. The way this is going to work, hold on, let me clear the energy out of the stack. Okay. The way this is going to work is I am going to pull 3 cards. Yeah, I'm going to pull 3. No, I really feel the energy call to do this for some reason. I don't know if I've ever done this with this deck. I'm going to pull 3 groups of cards, and each group will have 2 cards in it, I think. That's my plan. Whatever my spirit guide tells me, I'll do differently if that's needed. But my plan is to pull, like I said, 3 groups of cards, and each group will have 2 cards. This is an answer deck, so I need you to think of something specifically that you would like an answer to in your life. Should I do this? Should I do that? Would this be a good idea? When is this going to happen? Whatever the question is, there is things in here like yes, no, time frame cards, romance, if you believe, not the right time, get a new direction, things like that. So actually, I'm going to shuffle the cards and then we'll go over something else about them. Okay, so please give me 3 groups of cards for Libra for the question on their mind, so we can get an answer about something going on in their life. Each group of cards will have 2 cards in it, so I need 3 groups of 2 cards to answer Libra's question that's on their mind about their life. Please give me 3 groups of 2 cards to answer. Oops. Okay. Okay, so I will point out. So we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Whichever one calls to you more, resonates with you more. If they none of them do, don't force it. But if one of these calls and resonates to you, go ahead and internally pick that one. Now we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3. Before I flip these over, let's say you is seeking a yes or no answer. If neither of these cards answer your question, then that just means the universe, you're not meant to know it. Like if you're seeking a yes or no question and you get within a week and that doesn't answer your question, then that's just the universe's way of saying you're not meant to know that right now. So we have, wow. For card number 1, we have yes and take action. So these are very in sync with each other. I love that. Yes and take action. That's very... I do want to point out, actually, I am not a huge fan of the artwork on this. Like, I think that it's really pretty. I just don't love the artwork on this, but this is the only answer deck that I have, and one of the only ones I think I've ever seen. Anyways, so group number 2, whoever chose pile number 2, we have opportunity and the situation will improve. Actually, I kind of like the drawing on that. It kind of reminds me of that Echo game on Sega back in the day. Anyways, and for those of you who chose group number 3, we have choose a new direction and reconsider. Honestly, all of these cards went really well with each other, so love that. And I do feel like it actually was very important to draw 2 for each of these, so I'm glad that we did that. Anyways, I hope that these answered whatever questions you had. Like I said earlier, I would really, really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you followed me on Twitch. I will be doing tarot readings on there. I'm not sure the exact structure because I am going to be changing things because I'm having some financial situations in life. So I will be changing some things on there because I'll be streaming more and stuff. I'll explain that at a later date maybe. But anyways, I would really appreciate the follow on there. And thank you for being here. And I will definitely be back. I don't know when. Definitely by next month. But actually in 1 month is when I'm going to be start to recording and stuff more again. I will be recording throughout then. It's taking me a little longer working full-time right now to get through all these signs. But I am trying my hardest. So thank you for being here, Libra. I hope that you found this reading helpful and insightful. And I really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time.